10 jobs that you can have as a registered nurse that are non-bedside. Also, excuse if you hear some noises in the background. Boo, my dog, is running around and it's the middle of the afternoon, so you might hear some cars driving by. I'm sitting in my sunroom because it's sunny in here and it's the best lighting that I have in my house currently. So I apologize if you hear a little bit of noise in the background, but we're just gonna go over very casually 10 jobs that are non-traditional, like non-bedside nursing positions. Like I said, I am gonna talk a little bit about cosmetic nursing as well. And I have had a few requests to talk about how I got a job in cosmetic nursing. I now work at a med spa. If you're new here, I work at Revital Med Spa in Westlake, Ohio. I've been there for maybe a little bit over 3 months, maybe coming up on 4 months actually. I absolutely love it and my life has completely changed. Just my mental health, my physical health, just everything. I feel like my life has taken a 360 and I could not be happier. So I'm gonna be talking a little bit about how you can get into cosmetic nursing at the beginning, but I will be making a whole video about cosmetic nursing and kind of how I ended up at the med spa that I am at. I'm also drinking my second cup of coffee of the day. So we're gonna be very energized in this video. The Wandering Bear Coffee Company sent me 2 boxes of their strong cold brew and oh my goodness, it is strong. And I have an espresso machine and that's pretty much what I drink every single day. I don't drink regular coffee anymore, but I want to say this gives me even more of a kick than that does. And that is saying a lot. So far I'm really loving this coffee. I will link it down below. I just have it in this cute little glass and I foamed creamer in my Nespresso thing, whatever it's called, frother. I don't know. But anyways, we're just gonna go ahead and jump into this. Quickly mention Incredible Health. I have talked about them in the past, but a general overview of what they do is they help nurses find jobs. So they have a website, which I will link down below, and it's completely free to create an account and kind of check out what they're all about. But pretty much overall, there's a ton of different like tools and things that they have that are created for nurses specifically, but their main goal is to help nurses find jobs. So a talent advocate will reach out to you once you create and complete your online resume, and they will help you kind of jumpstart your search for a nursing position that you really want and that you're paid and compensated for, like for your worth. So I'm gonna link them down below. I recently switched jobs and my work-life balance has completely changed, and I talk about that a little bit more throughout this video. But if you're kind of looking to switch things up and to find a new position, I would definitely check out Incredible Health, and like I said, I'll link them down below. I wrote myself some notes to keep myself on track, but number 1, like I said, is cosmetic nursing. So cosmetic nursing, Boo is running around, like I said. Cosmetic nursing is definitely something that's new to the nursing realm. And I don't want to say that it's not respected. Boo is trying to steal my notes. But I have got some comments from some haters saying that cosmetic nursing is not real nursing, that you have to work in a hospital, blah, blah, blah. You know what? You know what I have to say to that is I don't care, because I am so happy, like I said, and now that I've found somewhere, and I've said this over and over again, that I found something that I truly love, that I'm considering going back to school, because prior to this, I had never found a specialty that I loved and that I was super passionate about until I found skincare, cosmetic, like dermatology, and now I'm very highly considering going back to school to get my nurse practitioner degree to maybe work in dermatology, because seriously, I love it so much. It's definitely a non-traditional route as far as like nursing goes, like working in a med spa, but I still get to work with patients. I still get to help people just in a non-traditional way. You know, self-care is everything. I cannot. This video is gonna be so distracting. But self-care is really everything, and feeling good about yourself. And I'm not saying that beauty is everything, but confidence is. And being able to help someone with maybe an insecurity that they have, you know, physically, can really help someone mentally. And like I said, confidence is everything, and feeling confident and having self-love is gonna help you in every area of your life. And it's really amazing seeing a patient come in and, let's say, for example, they struggle with hormonal acne, because I personally struggle really bad with hormonal acne around my jawline. And I know that it's something that it makes you really insecure, and being able to see someone, you know, on the first day when they come in and they're just like so self-conscious about, say, their acne, and seeing them a couple months later after having treatments and things done and using products and, you know, taking your advice and things like that, and seeing how far they come in a few months, not just like appearance wise, but their confidence is absolutely amazing. And that's probably my favorite thing about cosmetic nursing. And like I said, I will make a whole video about it, but I wanted to share kind of that in this video just to touch on it. So yeah, cosmetic nursing is number one. I personally work in a med spa, but you can work in a dermatology office, you can work at a plastic surgeon's office, laser hair removal. There's like hydration clinics, like IV, like vitamin type of spas as well. I don't have a ton of knowledge on that, but I do know it is an option. But yeah, cosmetic nursing is definitely becoming more popular as time progresses, and I think it will definitely be a field where more nurses will be needed in the future. And like I said, I will make a video about how I got my job and some like tips and stuff like that if you guys are interested. But that is number one. Number two is working in the OR. I have a couple friends who work in the OR and they absolutely love it. It's definitely a little bit different of a schedule, and you will have on-call typically if you work in an OR, because you never know when you're going to have emergency cases depending on what type of operative services you work in. You can do pediatrics, cardiac, neuro, the list goes on, general, whatever. There's a ton of jobs available for nurses in the operating room. So that is number two. Like I said, I have a couple friends who work in OR, and their job satisfaction is definitely a lot higher than people that I know working in bedside, just like work-life balance and stuff like that. Number three, that's kind of related to that, is pre-op or PACU. PACU is post-anesthesia care unit. So you would take care of patients after they have surgery, and obviously pre-op is before. I actually had to shadow a day in the PACU and Boo Bear, you need to stop. Mommy is filming. Boo. You know what? I would turn the camera off and like restart, but this is just going to continue happening, so we're just going to deal with it. But I had to shadow a day in pre-op and the PACU when I started my first job right out of nursing school in critical care, and I like started IVs and stuff. And it's definitely like a different pace of nursing, but a lot of people really love it. One of my friends from nursing school actually just got a job in the PACU, so she's really excited about that. But pretty much in the PACU, you start IVs, you make sure the patient's safe for surgery, you do your, you know, physical assessment, you take care of the patient. So where I worked, the hospital was like smaller, so the nurses were both pre-op and post-op, but some hospitals have separate units for that. It just depends where you work. But where I shadowed, you would just take care of the patient prior to surgery and after, and the nurses really loved it. So that's number three. Number four is radiology. So I worked with radiology nurses at my first job when I would have to like go with my patient down to either X-ray, MRI, CT. Radiology nurses work in all of those areas. Again, you do assessments. You may have to start occasional IVs if maybe their IV stops working, down an MRI or CT, and you need contrast. What else? Like you give meds, you give contrast, things like that. I don't believe radiology techs can give contrast. I could be wrong, but when I would have to transport my patient down, and typically if it was like a weekend, there wouldn't be a nurse. So I would have to administer any meds needed like down in radiology. So I'm pretty sure only nurses can do it. I could be wrong. It also could be a state to state thing. I have no idea. But that's a little bit what a radiology nurse would do. Okay, I had to stop the camera because Boo was like being super loud. But number 4 is occupational health. This could be either for like healthcare workers in the hospital. It could be, oh my gosh. This video is gonna be so distracting. You're being so distracting, little Alice. You wanna sit on my shoulder? Pet children are being so distracting. So for the 3rd time, the next one is occupational health. This could be either like at a hospital for healthcare workers, or just like in general, any like outpatient occupational health. You do drug testing, drawing labs, vitals, things like that, just basic assessments. And it typically has really good like hours. You most likely will be like a Monday through Friday, no night shift, things like that, because it's occupational health and your patients will be coming in the daytime. Number 5, kind of similar to that, is urgent care. I actually considered working in urgent care when I was kind of looking for a new job before I found my current job in cosmetic nursing, at like any urgent care, a CVS minute clinic, things like that. And that's pretty self-explanatory what you would do in urgent care. So moving on to number 6 is a physician's office, dermatology, pediatrics, OBGYN, the list goes on and on and on. Family medicine is a really popular one. But yeah, I will say medical assistants, they often hire medical assistants, but there are nursing positions as well. You just have to look for them and kind of be patient for them, because I have noticed when like job searching and things that typically they do hire MAs, but nurses can just work in general physician offices as well. Having 2 pets instead of 1 now is kind of crazy. My house is never quiet, but I love them like they're my actual children, and they quite honestly are as loud as actual children. But anyways, speaking of having kids, number 7 is fertility. Nurses can work in fertility clinics, and this was something that I was actually really interested in when I was trying to leave bedside nursing, especially if you're an OB nurse, labor and delivery, whatever. If you're trying to kind of find something outpatient, fertility clinics would be like the perfect fit for you if you want to stay in the OB realm. And it's also a very rewarding job as well. Helping families who might not be able to have kids naturally be able to have a baby is something that's so amazing and so unique. And a lot of people are, you know, interested in these jobs. So it is a quite competitive field, but if you're really interested in it, I would definitely not give up and just keep applying. But that's number 7. Number 8 is a nurse educator. This can either be in your typical school setting, like at college, like a clinical instructor. You have to, I think you can teach like lab as just like a general nurse, but I could be wrong. You might have to go back to school. You obviously can't teach like lecture. You do have to have a master's degree, but you can do like clinicals and things like that, or also in a hospital. When I was first starting out as a new grad, I had an educator that was like keeping track of my progress, so there are jobs like that as well. Number 9 is a school nurse. Self-explanatory. You'd be the nurse, you know, in elementary school, middle school, high school. Seems like a pretty normal schedule job, you know, Monday through Friday. You'd have summers off as well, which would be really nice. And number 10 is remote nursing. I threw this one on at the end because I follow this one nurse on TikTok who always talks about remote nursing, and I'm not exactly sure what she does, but remote anything is becoming more and more popular now. Obviously, since the pandemic, we've had this huge shift to doing things more online. You can work for insurance companies, remote triage, chart review. There's so many different things that you can do as far as like nursing goes at home, and that you can apply for with just having a nursing degree. So I would honestly suggest for that, because I don't have a ton of knowledge. I'll try to link the girl that I'm talking about down below, because she posts a ton of really informative TikToks about remote nursing. But I would also just suggest going on Indeed and scrolling through like job descriptions and qualifications for remote nursing positions, and kind of like seeing really what's required and things like that, because I am not like an expert on remote nursing, but it is a huge, look at Pooh, he's outside in our backyard. It is a huge like up and coming, and has been up and coming new field in nursing, because everything is online nowadays. But those were my 10 non-bedside nursing positions to share with you guys. Again, I want to quickly mention Incredible Health. I will leave them linked down below. It's completely free to sign up and to start looking for your new dream nursing position, where you can find yourself some work-life balance, where you're getting paid for your worth, and that you are also happy and having a good balance with your mental health. So I'm gonna link Incredible Health down below. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you got some ideas on some jobs that you can start searching for that are not